All right, cool. So the first thing that we want to do is accept the fact that the existing internet, as it's built, is, for lack of a better term, hoard out. Um, and it's not that complicated, right? Because all the complicated stuff took place early, and it was built on it. It's like building on shit, you know. It starts to stink, and it's hard to do. You're kind of just like, at some point, you just gotta accept it and start a new foundation. Um, and so I think a good place to set that foundation is on the protocol that computers talk to each other on, right? I'm not going to say it's the only, certainly not the only protocol out there that computers communicate on, but one that I've identified is MQTT, the Message Query Telepathy Telecommunications Network. I think is what it's called. And the nice thing is it's a very simple process of exchanging information. The files are sent, so the packets are sent to one hardware device to another, and then are passed along to other hardware devices that you have given access to that information on. So the subject and a topic, and one of the company that uses a similar type of protocol in communications is one that we're all familiar with, and that's YouTube. Um, just from its baseline subscriber topic model. And again, this is an open field there as far as how you want it to be built. I would imagine if we were actually on a literal pile of shit, we would be probably a little bit better. We would have a different frame of mind when we got on the solid ground. So I'm going to let that be figured out when we get there because we're still on the massive pile of shit right now, obviously. And unfortunately, or not unfortunately, just the facts of the fact of the matter is that the exits from this big pile of shit are controlled by governing bodies and institutions, right? And that, frankly, you know what, we got to be cognizant of because they provide a lot of people jobs. And, at their very core, I'm sure there's always bad actors, and there may be a few of these in the upper echelons of levels. But we'll let the the new framework, once we're on the ground, we have solid footing, we'll figure out what's what. But right now, we got to just focus on getting off this big pile of shit. And so that's where the integration and public servants, and those are politicians. I know it's kind of like an oxymoron, public servants and politicians, but that we bring those two together, right? So we can get off this massive pile of shit and get down to steady earth and solid a solid foundation. Um, so in order to do this, we could use many different strategies, right? To get off this massive pile of shit. I think what we can get to once we make it all down, everybody, is tremendous. And again, I'm going to let that take its course once we're on the solid ground. Um, and I'm going to cut it right there, and then we'll get into the strategies that we have to get off of it. Right? There's a model that we have developed. This is a PayPal paid model, and it involves a three-tiered purchasing system with layers of ownership and operational capacity and um, managerial oversight, I guess would be the best way to put it. And but fragmented. So there's not a collusion per se or a break in the floor while we're establishing the new foundation. That kind of comes full circle in the what is paid, right? And the AI is within the P and the D, and a perpetual development, maybe we'll call it. I don't know, but what it does mean is to get paid, and that's what will happen when you got the massive pile of shit that is ACGP and the foundation that's been built on. And of course, who would have thought we'd do the money thing on a new one, because you can't build new money on a pile of shit, right? It would just stink and so we'll figure our way down, and don't forget anybody up at the top, I guess is the motto. Sort of a mind fuck, right? But yeah. All right. Bye. Okay. So going on when we talk about the managerial layer, walking off this proverbial tower of shit via the stairways of institutions and governments, what we will do is, right, you pay respect to the existing institutions, of course. Why? Because they pay people's salaries and allow people to fucking live, right? So, but what we can do though with that is shed that when we get down off the massive pile of shit. Because, again, solid ground will be a big fucking collective breath of fresh air. And, the planning for that while you're getting off the pile of shit is only going to frustrate people on their way down. And so, again, if you're at the top of the pyramid, you're the ones that we're waiting for. So we'll let you wait, come on down. And so that's a little bit in that. And PayPal paid, right? I mean, it's pretty fucking simple. When you walk into an Apple store, right? Well, which one do you want? I want the fucking best one. What do you think, motherfucker? And then there's just a financing vehicle mechanism that we can add to this via the Pan-Oceanic Bank and the buyback of the data via the San Francisco phone party. And it's one, so you buy it at cost. Somewhere along this line, cost of goods sold, the pay spectrum. Then you have the PAL spectrum where it's at data discount, right? So you data debt finance. And then you have a premium layer, which covers that as a coupon in a premium plan version, spanning from degrees of owner operation across. And then you have from getting off this massive pile of shit, right, is that you have the fourth layer. Fourth layer is where we accumulate real value that we draw upon. Closest thing you can really think about this as is a sovereign wealth fund. And the next one we'll talk a little bit about when we say the managerial oversight. It's not oversight, it's really helping everybody down off the pile of shit. And then when it's off there, it's self-governed because it's an action-based economy. It's this movement, so we really can't, we don't need to really get into that. That was the pile of shit that we were on. So, again, Liquid Fame up in these boots.